Jack Torrence was an unassuming mechanic working at a scrapyard on the outskirts of Nevada's vast desert. He specialized in fixing all manner of vehicles, from vintage cars to military-grade trucks. But nothing in his years of greasy hands and busted knuckles could have prepared him for the object that crash-landed behind his workshop one moonless night. The crash sounded like thunder tearing through the earth, shaking Jack's tools off their shelves. Armed with a flashlight and a wrench, he cautiously approached the site, expecting a downed military drone or perhaps even an experimental aircraft. Instead, he found something out of a science fiction movie, a sleek, metallic ship with jagged tears along its hull, glowing faintly with an otherworldly blue light. It wasn't just the ship that made him freeze in his tracks. Standing outside the wreck was a figure, tall, humanoid, but with elongated limbs and a faintly iridescent skin that shimmered under his flashlight. The alien held a device that emitted strange clicks and hums, scanning its surroundings. When it turned its gaze toward Jack, its large, black eyes were void of malice, only urgency. "Help," the alien said, its voice synthesized and distorted. Jack took a shaky breath and nodded. "All right, let's see what we're dealing with." The repair job. Jack's instincts took over as he inspected the ship. It was a marvel of engineering, unlike anything he'd ever seen. The alien communicated through gestures and occasional words translated through its device. It seemed the ship's power core had been damaged in the crash, and the control systems were fried. Using a mix of parts from his shop and the alien's guidance, Jack spent hours, then days, tinkering. The ship's inner workings were a blend of advanced technology and organic components that pulsed faintly, almost as if alive. Jack worked tirelessly, driven by equal parts fascination and the alien's unspoken desperation. During the repairs, Jack noticed strange claw marks inside the ship and shredded metallic conduits that didn't seem consistent with crash damage. The alien avoided explaining, deflecting his questions with hurried gestures. Unwelcome stowaways. As Jack worked late one night, he heard a low, guttural growl from inside the ship. Startled, he grabbed his flashlight and peered into the dark corridors. The beam of light caught something slithering out of view, a scaled, reptilian tail disappearing into a vent. "What the hell was that?" Jack muttered, his pulse racing. The alien appeared behind him, its expression unreadable. It pointed at the vent and said one word, "Pets." "Pets? You mean like lizards?" Jack asked incredulously. The alien nodded but didn't elaborate. It seemed uneasy, as if it wasn't telling the full story. The encounter. The next night, Jack heard scratching at the walls of his workshop. He turned just in time to see a creature emerge, about the size of a large dog, with sleek, green scales, glowing yellow eyes, and rows of sharp teeth. Its movements were sinuous, almost hypnotic. It hissed at him, the sound vibrating in his chest. "Nice, lizard." Jack tried, backing away slowly. The alien appeared, holding a small device that emitted a calming hum. The creature hissed once more before retreating into the shadows, clearly more intelligent than any Earth reptile. The alien muttered something in its language, and Jack got the impression it was apologizing. By the following day, Jack realized there wasn't just one lizard. There were three. They had been hiding in the damaged parts of the ship, growing increasingly restless. The alien explained through gestures that these pets were genetically engineered for companionship, but had aggressive instincts, especially when confined. The final hurdle. The repairs were nearly complete, but the lizards had other plans. As Jack worked on the final wiring, one of the creatures escaped into the workshop, its sharp claws tearing into equipment. Jack tried to shoo it away, but it lunged, its teeth bared. He barely managed to dodge as it swiped at him. The alien intervened, using its calming device to subdue the creature. But the other two lizards had joined the fray, their collective agitation making them harder to control. Jack grabbed an old cattle prod from his storage, using it to keep the creatures at bay while the alien worked to lure them back into the ship. It was a chaotic few hours, but eventually, the creatures were secured in a containment pod. The alien nodded its thanks, visibly relieved. A strange goodbye. With the ship finally operational, the alien offered Jack a small, glowing crystal as payment. When Jack held it, images flooded his mind. Glimpses of the alien's homeworld, a lush planet with towering bioluminescent forests and skies filled with twin suns. As the ship's engines roared to life, the alien gave Jack a final look of gratitude before the hatch sealed shut. The ship ascended into the night sky, leaving Jack alone in the quiet desert. Jack stared at the empty spot where the ship had been, his hands still clutching the crystal. He shook his head and muttered, "Aliens and their lizards. I'm gonna need a drink." Epilogue. Months later, Jack received a strange package at his workshop. A sleek, black box containing a high-tech tool set unlike anything on Earth and a holographic message from the alien. It thanked him again and mentioned that its pets were thriving back home. Jack chuckled, pocketing the tools. Well, I guess I'm officially the universe's first alien mechanic. Wonder what's next? He looked up at the stars, wondering if he'd ever see them or their pets again.